All right, thank you. Mr. Wilson?
Mr. Mayor, considering the number of people we have here, I think all pretty much for the same issue, I think it probably would be wise for us to take that item number 4, the city manager's report, and bring it up now so that we can discuss it while we have a full room. Usually by the end of the day, there's about 4 people left. So I think it would be wise if we could bring that up now.
I agree.
Okay with me? Everybody else okay with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Could I just make some comments too?
Yes, go ahead.
You know, I keep hearing where the city has gotten ready to back off our plans for the airport. And I have to stress again, none of what we heard has been our plans. I've never asked for every square inch of available land on the airport to be developed, but someone offered to do it. I never asked for an RV park, but somebody offered to do that too. If I had to pick an item, what item could I get during an election year to get everybody mad at me I possibly could? That would probably be right up there on top. I didn't ask for it, I didn't want it, didn't intend to want it, but I have to sit here and listen to the proposals that come for us, because that's my job, is to listen. I'm in listening mode. I wasn't in the talking mode. I didn't ask anybody to bring us a Roman Empire, but somebody offered to do that too. They offered all kinds of things, none of which was what I had asked for. You know, we had some things that have gone way back, and when you looked at the time, the marina came up. That's been talked about for years. That came up because we were losing lots of boat slips around here. They were being taken away, turned into condominiums. That was something we looked at. Where can we take land, lease it, get some money in, and also serve a need that was out there? So that was on the table. We felt like there was some need for hotel rooms. If you're going to need to raise some money, use it through leases. What's something that makes money? At the time that was in there, that was something we were considering. That's been on the table for a long time. We were interested in that. A restaurant. We've lost all around the county, restaurant after restaurant on the waterfront. And people love to go to restaurants on the waterfront. So is that something to be considered? Yes, we considered that. So these were things that were out there. These other things, these grandiose plans that came in, those weren't our plans. You know, 3 years ago, we had some other developers that came in, and we were asking for an airport business park back then, just as we are now. And the developers came in and said, we want to build 1,300 condominiums. And I distinctly remember Judge Moore asking them, and I wasn't on council yet, I was sitting out there with you. I remember him asking, what part of an airport business park is 1,300 condominiums? And the developer said, but that's what we want to build, you know. They said, well, it's the highest best use. That translates to, that's what we want to build. And he said, but that's not what we asked for. And they said again, but that's the highest and yes use. That's what they wanted to build. Well, what did this council do back then? They didn't do anything. They said, that's not what we asked for. We listened, you didn't give us what we wanted, and we moved on. Well, what makes you so sure that's not happening again this time? You know, why is it that every single thing that's come out here, everything that you've heard, oh yeah, that's what they plan, that's what they want, that's what they're going to do, it's a done deal. Well, it's not with me. I'm listening and trying to figure out. I haven't even had the opportunity yet. We're supposed to go through a charrette process to figure out what it is that you're wanting. I did that with questioning. I asked those developers, do you realize there's going to be some restrictions? If we do a marina, there's going to be some restrictions. Made it very clear. This council had very definite ideas about what they were going to be able to allow as far as size of boats and so forth. Very definite ideas. You know, we grilled them on. I remember specifically one of them that came in that I thought in my mind had their plan set in stone. They knew what they wanted to do. It wasn't for here. They were going to do it here. They were going to do it somewhere else. They were going to do it another place. It had considered you all at all. And we asked those folks, the different ones, are you willing to go through the charrette process, find out what the people want, listen to what the people want, and adapt to that? And some said, yeah, we're willing to do that, and others weren't. Well, I know which ones I'm not willing to deal with, the ones that won't. But I haven't had that opportunity yet because we haven't got that far along in the process, and we need to. But, you know, I also hear people want, over and over again I've heard, we want things to stay exactly as they are. Nothing ever gets to stay exactly as it is. Take the airport. Right now, if my understanding is correctly, they're needing to get a larger clear zone around the runway. That's going to have significant impact on that golf course. Now, if the decision is from all of you, well, we want that to stay exactly as it is, no matter what, I see a couple of things happening. That means we have to thumb our nose at the FAA and say, hey, we're not going to give you the safety zone that you want because we want everything exactly as we have it right now. And, you know, you can listen to what you read that the FAA doesn't care, but you're going to find out they do care. And I'll let Mr. Black address that a little later. But right now, if you tell them, no, we can't have a clear zone, I see two things happening. I see, number one, we can forget about any more grant money coming in, money that we need to do that other runway. The runway I keep hearing from everybody, we'd rather have that runway done. You think they're going to let jets land on a runway that doesn't have the clear zone, that hasn't been repaved, when there's another perfectly good runway that's just been done and it's nice and safe? You think they're going to say, yeah, jets, go come in and land on the other runway that we're not fixing up? I don't think that's going to happen. So that's a decision you got to make. But just realize, if you say, okay, I want to leave it exactly it is, I figure you're going to have the jets flying over your homes. And that's what we've been hearing you don't want. And where's that money going to come from? I mean, we're talking, you know, I don't know what the final figure is on that runway, but I mean, it's millions of dollars. What are we going to do? Are you willing to say, okay, whatever it takes, double my taxes, triple my taxes, whatever it is, for all these other liabilities that you want us to take on, where, you know, even if you decided to tell us that, yeah, let's go ahead, let's raise the taxes, we don't really care. We've got the legislature up there. They're getting ready to tell us how much we're going to get to cut back on raising the taxes, not how much extra we can take on, but how much we're going to cut back to, and it's going to happen. So if that's what's happening, then it becomes not a case of are you willing to pay the money, it's a case of what services are you willing to give up. You know, are we going to give up police protection, fire protection, more parks? What is it? So you keep saying, I want you to listen to us. Well, trust me, I'm all ears. I've been listening, but what I need you to do is not just tell me this is what I want. What I need you to tell me is this is what I want, and this is what I'm willing to sacrifice to get it. Because we're going to have to make those decisions, and they're real decisions. It's baloney to sit there and say that the FAA doesn't care about what happens out there. We've been there, folks. It took years to get that last runway done. They weren't happy with the amount of money that was coming in and what was happening. We didn't get grants. We can be right back in that again. So all I'm telling you is there's two sides to every issue. We up here have to look at all of them. We can't be someone in the mobile home park just saying, I don't want my rents to go up, so, you know, don't do things there. Or I'm not someone that says, well, I want to have cheap golf. We have to look at everything. I need to hear from you. Solutions. What is it that you see as the solution? Because we are going to have to make those value judgments. I'm going to have to make them. You're going to have to make them. And that's what I need to hear. When we get into the shred process, don't come up and tell me, oh, I want everything to be exactly as it is. I need you to say, I want it to stay that way, and here's what I'm willing to pay for that. Here's what I'm willing to give up for that. Because there is a cost to everything. There is no free lunch, folks. I need to hear. Mr. Black, can you address as far as some of those things as far as with the FAA and so forth?